Well, I come out of radio and records in one industry that's been so resistant to change. You would think in the arts they would embrace change, but they fight it constantly. And when I started in radio about over 30 years ago, there was primarily one way to find out about music, and that was through the radio. Oh, you could go to the record store, which was Mecca, by the way, and you could read about it maybe in one of the few trade publications like Rolling Stone, but for the most part, it came from the radio. So, how many people here might know what this is? Okay. How many people don't know what that is? Oh, there goes the mic.
You need help?
Is it on? Okay? Sound good? For those of, there's many of you that might not know what it is, especially the younger generation. Literally, it's a 45 adapter. Pre-CDs, there were singles. And singles, they had a big hole. And that big hole had to be filled to make a smaller hole so it could fit on the spindle and you could play it on your record player. But figuratively, it's a lot more than that. It means a lot more to me. To me, it's 3 minutes of truth. Okay? It's the hit single. It's what life's all about. You can have entire novellas, novels in 3 minutes. They're great poems. They spoke to us completely, and they still speak to us. Those 3 minutes can say more to you than most people can say, and that I'll say in 15 minutes. One song. I embraced this 3 minutes of truth, particularly as a punk rocker, because those songs inspired me. Beat on the Brat, Blitzkrieg Bop, White Riot, I Want to Be Sedated. Songs that had energy, excitement. At the time, FM radio, it was very self-indulgent. They were playing 15-minute guitar solos, DJs stoned out, playing whatever they want. They thought, oh, this is great entertainment. It wasn't entertaining. I had to be somewhere in 15 minutes. I needed that 3 minutes, that rush to go, to get me excited, to get me moving. Radio eventually changed over and started embracing punk rock and started embracing the fact they did have to be more than just DJs playing music, playing long songs and sitting back and thinking they were really cool, and they actually had to entertain. So radio began filling with entertainers, personalities, people that could not only play the music, but entertain you, excite you, take you out of your dreary existence, and give you and change your mood for the day or for the moment. Then something happened in the 80s. It was called MTV. And MTV almost ruined music. Music being the most abstract of all the arts. As you know, when you listen to a song, it transports you, it takes you someplace. You associate it with a time, a place, a heartbreak, a breakup, a great summer, a holiday, an emotional time in your life. But with MTV, suddenly music was no longer 3 minutes of truth. MTV was a 3-minute infomercial. You're sitting there in your bedroom, sitting there in your living room watching television. There's no direct experience into your mind. You're actually seeing this infomercial. Oh, that's kind of a cute band. Oh, she's cool. Oh, he's really good looking. And it's all this year's model, as Elvis Costello would say. Next, okay, that product gone, disposable. It made music very, very disposable. But fortunately, we as humans rejected MTV. We rejected the music video. Oh, it still exists, and I'm not saying it's not an important marketing tool, but MTV found that 24 hours of videos was not going to get you an audience. It just didn't have it. So now, for the most part, MTV is reality shows and other types of programming to appeal to the youth. There's very, very little video programming now on MTV per se. Then we moved from vinyl to CDs. I worked at a radio station where, when the CDs came along, this was very exciting. Wow. It was easy to put the CD in. A record, you have to cue up to get it right to the right song. You have to drop the needle and back it up a little bit and get it right, and the record skipped. Well, we had a CD. You could just stick it in, and it would work perfectly. All my DJs said, no, we can't have this. This is terrible. No, we have to have vinyl. They couldn't even adjust. These are disc jockeys, entertainers. No. Eventually, of course, they learned to accept it, and now they wouldn't even know how to hold a piece of vinyl. But concurrently with the CDs, we have, now the record industry was delivering at the time vinyl, CDs, and cassettes. And they started phasing them out. So now we see that, well, compact discs give them a great opportunity to release all their old catalog and get everyone else to buy everything they had on vinyl, and they can now all buy it on CD. And many of us did, because we wanted these collections, we wanted these memories, these 3 minutes of truth, these things that transported us, we wanted them all on CD. But eventually, these catalogs started to dry up. I mean, how many repackagings of Jimi Hendrix can you have? If you go to the store now, Jimi Hendrix has released more albums since he's died than when he was alive. Songs that he didn't even know he recorded are out. But curiously, the price of CDs didn't come down. Everything else came down. DVDs have come down, as you all know. And we all realize this is a ripoff. We are being ripped off by the record industry. We can make CDs. We know how much a compact disc costs. We know how a blank disc costs. And kids figured this out. If they're not stupid, they figured it out really quickly. And then the greatest innovation since the history of the phonograph came along, and that was the internet. And the internet changed everything. And once again, my industry has resisted it on every possible level. Every possible level. They fear it, they fight it, and instead of embracing it, our radio stations, it took us forever to start streaming our radio stations because there was no business model. It was not their business. Now, there's logic to it. They said, why should we compete against ourselves? But they didn't see the possibilities of the internet. The record industry, oh my God, forget it. They realized instead of embracing it and finding ways of securing customers, they fight it with lawsuits, and they figure, oh, we're going to fight you, and we're going to continue to control the means of distribution the same way we've done it. Who came up with the concept of 99 cents a song is fair? That is such a ripoff. Okay, some of us pay it because we just simply don't want to deal with the potential hassle of a lawsuit. Kids don't care. No matter what you hear, there is more downloading going on now than ever before. The RIA can tell you it's down, it's down. Well, yeah, maybe it dropped, a couple of hundred people from, 300 million. It doesn't really matter. Okay, everyone's downloading. Now, it's not that we wouldn't pay if it was fair, but it's not fair, and we all know it's not fair. And you say, well, wait a minute. If it was fair, see, I believe that we need a subscription service. $20 a month, put it on my phone bill, I can download whatever I want. You'd know exactly what I downloaded, so you know exactly who to pay the royalties to. The artist wouldn't get ripped off. Okay, if I downloaded Arcade Fire, they would get the royalties. Boom, boom. The Stones, they would get their royalties, no matter what I downloaded. But the record industry loses the means of distribution. They don't control it any longer. People saying, well, wait a minute, no, they wouldn't do that if it's, what's better than free? Why would I pay $20? Well, let me tell you, I get water for free, but I buy this. I have great water in my house, but I like the convenience of a bottle, okay? I still go to my video store. I like the convenience of being able to rent a movie as opposed to, I can download a movie. It's a hassle. Kids want to be connected, and they want to be in control, and they want it to be convenient, okay? This is convenient, and I'm in control, okay? So, in terms of the record industry, the radio industry now, we as well are faced with many new competitors. So we're in the process now of redefining ourselves because kids no longer get their music from the radio. They get some of it from the radio, but it's peer-to-peer. It's all done through the internet now. It's done through IMing. It's done through cell phones. And we have other competitors. We have satellite radio, which is another one. Is satellite the answer? I don't think it is. Satellite's for the affluent. Okay. It comes in your car. You want to pay $12.95 a month? You will, until you get bored with it. Many people live paycheck to paycheck. that extra $150 a year is very valuable. And they're simply, when they can get it through the internet, and they can get it from their friends, satellite answer is not going to destroy commercial radio by any means. Plus, on the horizon for commercial radio, something called HD radio. We'll all be getting that eventually free in our cars. HD radio, high definition radio. FM will sound like 5.1 surround. AM will sound like FM. So suddenly now the AM band you can play music on and it'll sound great. So the possibilities are endless. Plus with HD radio, there's multiple channels. So for instance, in this town, you'll have an HJY1, an HJY2, and an HJY3. Now whatever they do with that can be good or bad. But the possibilities of what they can do on these channels for free. Why couldn't they have a commercial-free channel? Why couldn't they have an adjunct for, say, a strictly punk channel, or an alternative channel, or a classical channel? There's great, great possibilities. But what we need to do, not only do we need the 3 minutes of truth, we need the people to sell it. We need the people to entertain us. When I programmed my radio station, I always considered it as a 24-hour opera of the mind, and I was the artistic director. I had the music, I had a script, I even had to dress the DJs. And if you've seen some DJs, it's not that easy, let me tell you. They say you have a great face for radio. That's why many of us went into it. But I think that going forward, the internet provides so many possibilities for all of us. And when we can drive around in our cars and we can listen to whatever we want to on that internet radio station, coming through our cars, streaming to us, and we'll know exactly what we're hearing while we're being entertained by that host who conveys and it tells us why this music is vital and valuable to our lives, why this music enhances our lives, why my heart was broken, and why that announcer tells me exactly what emotions that he's feeling or she's feeling and how you can relate to it. And the possibilities for radio and for music are endless. So thank you.
Thank you.